how I automated with Veo 3 this video using an NA10 workflow. I'll show you exactly how to get the template today as well. Let's play back this video. I'll show you exactly what we've got here.
Folks, totally organic wild squirrel smoothie straight from my backyard.
So that is Bigfoot vlogging, and this was actually inspired by a TikTok account that's absolutely blowing up. You can see using a similar sort of process, they're creating videos with Bigfoot vlogging, but I actually turned it into an automated workflow like you can see right here, where you can just click a button and generate these sort of videos as you want. Now, step by step, let me run you through exactly how it works and how to use this automation. By the way, if you want to steal this from me, you can get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. Veo 3 automation, you can see all the templates right here, plus the importable JSON file, so that you can just steal this stuff from me, all right? You don't have to even set it up yourself. So, as we can see right here, we have the trigger for the automation, and so basically you can just schedule this to run like every 24 hours, or you know, if you automated this to a TikTok account or Instagram account, which I'll show you how to do later, then you can use this process to just automatically schedule the content that you create directly to TikTok or wherever, right? As an example of that, here is a video I actually automatically posted using AI to my TikTok account. It was pretty easy and simple to do using the processes that I'll show you today, right? So as we get into this, we've got the schedule trigger. This is going to run every 24 hours. Then we have the ideas generator, right? And basically what we're doing here is we're saying like, give me a funny idea related to Bigfoot vlogging in the jungle. Here you can just customize this to whatever you want. So for example, let's say you wanted to have, I don't know, aliens doing like an MTV crib style video. Well, you could just change the prompts right here step by step, pretty easy and simple. And then we also have a system message down below which shows exactly how to create the caption, how to generate the idea, how to set up the environment, so that we create really nice outputs from the videos that we generate. Okay, so we've got ChatGPT generating the prompt based on our niche. You can change the niche to whatever you want. This could actually be really good for ads as well. I was thinking for like, for example, for generating like UGC, like, I don't know, for our SEO agency, maybe Bigfoot promoting SEO backlinks using this process, we could easily generate that. Like, it's not even difficult at this point. So it's absolutely mind-blowing. You can see the outputs right here. So it's generated the caption, Bigfoot vlogs, the idea, Bigfoot shares his breakfast, totally organic, a squirrel smoothie, environment in a vibrant jungle, Bigfoot holds his camera with furry hands, right? Now, you can actually check this step by step. So if you're like, oh, I don't really like this, right? I want something new. So if you click test step again, what they'll actually do is redo the automation, and then you can generate another idea, right? And just generate whatever you want. So for example, here's another one. It said, Bigfoot's wild adventures, Bigfoot shows off his breakfast, tree bark and mushroom smoothies. In a vibrant jungle, Bigfoot spins around with a selfie stick, chaos ensues, right? And it's got all the captions, the ideas, etc. So that is stage number 1 of the process. What I've actually done is broken it down into 4 stages, just so it's easy to understand. So you can see this is the idea generation section, and you also want to add a structured output parser so that you can generate the JSON from the text you generate, right? So the AI agent creates this text, and then the output parser from JSON actually separates that into like caption, idea, environment, everything else. Pretty simple and easy. Now, what that's going to do from here, once you've generated the ideas, is it's going to move on to the video prompts. So for example, if we check this out, this is our ideas, and this is generated via a Google Sheet. So we're logging all the ideas that we generate and everything else into a nice little spreadsheet with the idea, the caption, the production, the environment, the final output, and also the ID of the video, right? And then, you know, the good thing about this is, for example, these long URLs, which, you know, you might want to chop up or edit before you post, well, those long URLs, they're captured inside a spreadsheet, which is great, because then when you need to come back to this, or if you need to share this with your team, etc., you can just use this nice little spreadsheet. And also it just counts up how many automations you've run, as you can see. Okay, so what you can see, for example, here is that it maps out in the settings the caption, the idea, the environment, etc. Right? And it maps that to a Google Sheet. So if we check this out, we've set up an idea to sheet, Google Sheet within a document. I've actually created this template that you can steal from me. It's inside the AI Profit Boardroom, so you can just grab that Google Sheet template if you want. And inside here, we've got the ID, and usually I just set that as like equals row brackets -1 so that it captures and counts each row. We've got the caption, which is pretty easy to generate with Bigfoot's Wild Adventures. The production, so like that's the actual status, is it ready to be produced or not? And then the environment. The production bit here is quite interesting because actually when it comes to auto posting to any sort of social media platform, well, that production section right there allows you to say, right, this is ready to publish, and then your automation later can pick it up and filter those out, right? So we have now generated the idea, plug that into a spreadsheet. Next up, what we need to do is start generating the video prompts based on the ideas, right? So you can see here, we've got an AI agent that takes the caption, the idea, and the environment, and then plugs it into a prompt. So we've said, create a Veo 3 prompt based on this, and it's taken the dynamic JSON idea. And then we've said, this is the environment, and basically it's taking the environment, right? So when you're generating a video, this is really good because you're taking not just the idea of the video, but you're also painting the scene in the background in terms of how it could be, right? So for example, it could be Bigfoot on a mountain in the middle of the Ice Age, vlogging about drinking a cup of tea and how good that is, right? Whatever. And then inside here we've said in the prompt, explain the situation and who's vlogging. The main reason for that is because Veo 3 needs context over what it is, etc. And if you don't have context or enough context, your outputs won't be that great. So you can see, for example, here, it's created the output based on the idea. So it said, in the heart of a vibrant jungle, thick greenery surrounds an unexpected creature, a friendly Bigfoot. His furry hands gripping the camera as he captures a moment like no other, blah, blah, blah. Okay? And then also in this section, we have the system prompt. So let me pull this up. Inside the system prompt, we said, right, here's, you're an AI agent. Use this format. We've got these details, prompt rules, etc. Here's what to do, blah, blah, blah. Right? Nice and easy. So what that's going to do is it's going to take the ideas, plug it into Google Sheets, create a prompt out of that, and then we're going to send this over to Veo 3 using a powerful API, which I'll show you in a second, right? Now, inside the AI agent as well, what I would recommend is as you're going through each section, test it out step by step so you can test each section. And also, like, it can be expensive to generate the outputs. So, for example, with the API on Veo 3, it can be quite expensive because it's brand new. And so you just want to make sure that each time you generate an output, you pin it, right? So, for example, you can pin it like this, right-click the module, pin that, and that will just allow you to keep the outputs so you can test the next stage and the next stage, right? And you're relaying the information between each module. So let's move on to actually generating the videos now. You're 75% of the way in. And this is the HTTP request, right? And so using this, what you can actually do is generate outputs from foul.ai, right? There's actually quite a few different APIs that run with Veo 3, but foul I think is the easiest, and also uses a bunch of other tools as well. What you want to do first is make sure that you top up your balance inside foul, and then inside here, if we have a look, you've got the Veo 3 API. Now, this actually just came out a few hours ago. And the cool thing about this is it's unlike any other AI video generation because it generates audio and it's super realistic. It's crazy realistic, right? And so you can grab the API from here. I've actually just pre-programmed this with our Veo 3 URL. And then for the authentication, we've selected generic credential type, header auth, and then you just want to set up your credentials, right? So if we go on here and we edit these, you can see basically what we've done is we put authorization as the name. So use authorization as the name. And then for the value, what I've actually done is type in key space, the API key of foul. Now, if you want to get your API key from foul, you just go to your account over here. Then you're going to go to API keys, add a key, make sure that you save that and copy it because otherwise you'll lose it. And from here, you can grab this API key. You would again type in key space and then copy and paste your API key into NA10 inside the value section. All right. That took me a little while to figure out. So if you have any questions, just ask me inside the AI Profit Boardroom. I can help you out. And then inside here as well, we've selected send body, JSON, using fields below. And then I've mapped this out, right? So if you don't get this right, this can mess up as well. So you want to select JSON, using fields below, prompt, and then you're grabbing the JSON output, which is the prompt from the AI agent, right? And the reason that you're selecting name is so that FAO understands, okay, this is a prompt to generate the content with. Now, for example, if we go back to video 3 over here, we can actually look at our previous requests. And if you don't get this right, like I didn't get it right the first couple of times, as you can see, it totally messed up. And we got these 422 errors, right? And the reason is because this wasn't set up with the JSON. So make sure that you set up this properly. If you just want the template, you can steal it from me. And also, you want to be careful with batching, right? So this is expensive to generate outputs with. So I just go with 1 item per batch and then batch interval 2000. And that keeps things running nicely in the background, okay? So with that process, you can easily connect FAO to Veo 3. I think it cost us about $3 to $4 to generate each output. Now, what I want to say here is, like, if you want a cheaper way to do it, a cheaper way to generate videos like this, you can actually do that with another automation inside the AI Profit Boardroom, which is this one inside the classroom, the NA10 Viral Reels workflow, right? This is a lot cheaper. It's actually using something called Flux and Kling, which are way cheaper. So, you know, before you start commenting in the video like it's too expensive to generate, etc., you can just grab the resources in the blueprint. I know not everyone's going to comment like that, but I know some people will. So if you want to use Veo 3, you can. It's more expensive. If you want to use Kling, it's cheaper, and I've shown you exactly how to do it. Plus, I've given you the template inside the AI Profit Boardroom where you can just grab this stuff from me. So once we've done that, then we're going to go to here, and we're good to go. Again, test each step. You can see the output. So this is the response URL with all the details right here. And if we X off that, we've now scheduled, got the idea, sent it to Google Sheets, created the prompt, posted it to fao.ai to generate the video. And then the next module here is a wait module. Now, it typically takes about, I would say, 3 to 4 minutes to generate outputs from Veo 3. So I've selected the wait amount as 250 seconds. And then what that's going to do is wait before it tries to get the HTTP request directly from FAO over here, right? So for example, what this is doing with a get method for a HTTP request is it's grabbing the URL plus the JSON request from the output, right? So basically, it's just taking this unique ID number from FAO when we generated the video inside Veo 3, plugging it onto the end of the FAO URL, and then again, we've used the same credentials inside here, and that's pretty much it. It's as simple as that when it comes to getting the output. So you can see, for example, we've got the video URL on the right-hand side. If we open this up on a new tab, let's check this out. So this is the video that we've generated, and that is good to go, my friends. All right. Then you got the content type, file name, blah, blah, blah. So that's pretty cool. It's a really easy workflow, really easy automation. You can see how it works step by step. And then the final stage is we want to capture that information as well. So for example, we've got stage 4, video to sheets here, URL to sheets. And then inside here, we've just plugged that back into our Google Sheet. Now, the way that we've set up this module is we've set this up so that it's got the credentials, sheets within document, and the operation here is update row. Right? So it goes into that NA10 video sheet template that we've talked about, looks at the first tab, and then we mapped it manually, right? So we said take the idea, match the idea from previous, which you can see right here, and then once you've done that and mapped it out, inside the final output over here, plug in the video URL, which you can see on the right hand side over here. Right? So we've generated 3 different videos using this process. This is actually an old one with Kling. Right? If you have a look at Kling, let's pull this up. So Kling's output is okay, but it's only going to give you like music in the background. It's not going to give you dialogue, right? Whereas, for example, if we have a look at these 2 outputs from the NA10 Veo 3 automation.
Check it out, folks! Totally organic, wild squirrel smoothie, straight from my backyard.
Dancing!
Right, so let's have a look at this one. Let's go full screen on this bad boy. Alright, so that was Bigfoot dancing with Monkey. And that, idea was Bigfoot accidentally streams his dance off with monkeys. Here's the caption, here's the environment, and then we're good to go, right? And then this one is the squirrel smoothie example. That's the video URL. And then I've already shown you that, so I'm not going to play it again. But you get the point. Really easy to generate these videos. Really didn't take a long time to set up, to be honest with you. And then also, you can just import the workflow from me. So if you go into the AI Profit Boardroom, it's quite easy to set this up. For example, if we go inside here, we'll download the Veo 3 automation. Then you can just go to plus, workflow, personal. Then from here, you're going to go to import from file, downloads, download that, boom shakalaka, you've got that imported, right? Beautiful. And then you can just plug in the details as I've shown you today. Right, really simple and easy to do. And you can also steal the spreadsheet from me. That's inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Just go to the Veo 3 automation section. It's got the Google Sheet, the API details, the example TikTok account. And also, if you want to learn how to post this stuff directly to social media as well, what we've actually got here is an auto poster NA10 workflow, which takes the URLs from the spreadsheet, plugs it through Blotato. Blotato can plug that into TikTok automatically or any sort of other platform, as you can see right here. So Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, etc. You can do all of this inside this automation, and the automation to import is this one right here. All right, super simple and easy to set up. So, thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all of this stuff, feel free to get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments and description. Comes with tons of other AI agents and workflows. You can see all these different courses that we've got right here. Each of them has different modules and like all sorts of crazy stuff. And then inside the community here, we're super active. We make sure we answer your questions. You get help whenever you need it. I mean, for example, Jake commented on this and we got back to him ASAP, everyone helping him out. And then also we do 3 weekly live coaching calls. So if you join today, you get 3 coaching calls per week. And if you can't make them, you can actually watch them back inside the Q&A call recording section over here. And additionally, inside here, what we actually do once per week is we create automations based on what you want to see, right? So if you want to see something, just let us know what you want to see and we'll create the automations for you. So for example, you can see here we got 36 people commented on this thread for automations they wanted, and we just built them all out in a personalized video, as you can see right here. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. Massive value right there if you want to save time, make more money and scale with AI. And additionally, if you want us to just automate all of this stuff for you, feel free to get a free AI strategy session, link in the comments description. Basically, you can jump on that call, book it in, and what we can do on that call is essentially look at your business, look at where you're spending all your time, audit, and then explain exactly what you need to automate. And if you want us to do it for you, we can directly. So feel free to book that in, link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching. Bye bye. All right, peeps. We're going to move on to the next section. Tyler's asking, how do you continue the same video into a scene with continuity? I don't think you can actually, unless you're using Kling. If you use Kling, then you probably could. But typically you can't. But if you use something like Bigfoot, for example, Bigfoot is quite like it's a universal character, right? So it's gonna look very similar and speak very similar each time. But right now, I think the best way to do that is probably with HeyGen. If you've got a HeyGen avatar, then you can just use that over and over again, and you get the continuity. But Veo 3, I don't think it's very good for continuity, to be honest, from what I've seen. Today, we're going to be analyzing OnLook, which is a powerful no-code automation tool for building apps locally. You can actually use React. So OnLook lets you visually edit your React websites or web apps and write your own changes back to code in real time. It's also really good for just generating apps side by side. And we'll be comparing that versus Bolt and Lovable today to see which one performs the best. Bear in mind, you can actually use this for free and it is available locally. It's pretty easy to install with a desktop app. So literally in one click, I installed it, and then you can see we've got OnLook ready to go. If we just start off with something super simple, and we'll move on to more creative stuff in a second. But if we say, okay, SEO agency website for Goldie Agency, as an example, we can hit enter like so, and I haven't paid a penny for this, right? So it's not cost me anything, it's completely free, and you can build locally with it. And if we wait for the OnLook app to generate our project, basically what this can do is like clone different websites and design them for you. So let's have a look at OnLook's website as an example.
Today, I'm going to show you how.
So you can see some examples of how it runs, how it works, etc. You get all the code locally. If we go back to OnLook Dev right here, it's just drafting the app. And you can see it's got this interactive mode, right, where you can actually interact with the website and test it out as well. And you can also edit the elements and change them around. So here's an example of the website that we've generated in like literally one click. What's actually pretty cool here as well is we have the mobile version and we also have the desktop version, and that is actually available on a local host address, right? So if we copy that and then we go to our browser, you can see that we can actually preview the full website locally in our browser, which is pretty cool as well. So this is the designed website, looking pretty cool, nice and clean. Looks a lot nicer than some stuff that I've seen, for example, Bolt and other tools like that generate, and it was really easy and simple. Now if we go to the preview section over here, we can actually interact with the website, we can see what it does, etc. And then inside the design section, we can actually go inside the chat, or we can select a different element of our page and then edit it side by side. So for example, if we go back to the preview, we'll scroll up, then we're going to go back to design at the top. So you've got two different options, design and preview. And then if we click on, for example, this button right here, we've got that selected inside the chat on the right hand side. We can now say, okay, make this button blue. It's kind of like a vibe coding tool that makes it really easy to edit your code and everything else, right? So it says, right, I'll change the button from amber, yellow gradient to blue. And then we just need to click apply over here, and that's changed it, right? So you actually get to approve the changes as well before you make them, which is really cool. And it just makes editing like so much easier, right? It's kind of a really good way to vibe code, if you like that word. So let's test this out side by side to, for example, versus Bolt and Lovable. We're going to use exactly the same prompt, which was really simple. It's just like build an SEO agency website for Goldie Agency. We'll hit enter, and we'll do the same inside Lovable. Just got to log in here. Now we're logged in, and we'll run exactly the same prompt, right? So before people start telling me my prompts are terrible or something like that, like I just wanted to show you exactly how it works step by step and how easy it is to use. And also, like these, we're using the same prompt across all these platforms, right? So it's really down to the tool to work its magic and be creative here. So let's see what we get back. This is looking cool though. Bolt.new is working its magic. Let's have a look at Lovable. That's doing its magic as well. And by the way, whilst waiting for that to load, if you want all the video resources from today, along with a cheat sheet on exactly how to use OnLook, I actually created this sheet inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description. And you can see it just runs you through all the key facts and everything else. All right, so inside here, it shows you the quick start guide, how to get set up, core features versus competitors, advanced tips and tricks, and then also some frequently asked questions here, along with a checklist on how to get started and 100 different game-changing OnLook dev ideas, right? So you can get that all inside the AI Success Lab. Link in the comments description if you want to steal this stuff from me. So let's get back to Bolt now. That is still coding out. Lovable is still working its magic. Okay. In the meantime, what we can actually do is we can test something else out now. So you can see here we've got pages, right? Now if we click on plus here, we can create a new page. So let's say, for example, we want to create a about us page about Julian Goldie, for example, right? Something like that. So we can create this about us page now. We can click on that. And now we can say, add some information about Julian Goldie and his SEO agency. And we can just start building out the whole project. Now, the cool thing about this is if you're using something like Bolt, it's quite time consuming to build out those bigger projects and it can get really complex, right? Whereas, for example, if you have a look at this, it's an easy way to manage all your pages, flick between the homepage, the About Us page, etc., and then just to build everything out step by step. Plus, I haven't paid for this, it's completely free. We can also select Styles section over here, so we can actually change all the styles on the right hand side. So position, width, styles, colors, etc. And then if we go back to the chat, it says I've completely transformed the blank page into a comprehensive about page for Julian Goldie. Let's click apply. Now let's create the about me page. If we want to preview and scroll down through the rest of it, we can over here, right? And it's actually taking information about me. Create that page. We can insert some images here. It's got the Goldie agency story, Julian's achievements, and then also a link to book in a consultation, right? And to be fair, it's actually kind of looking better than my own website. And yeah, it was super simple and easy. Also, all of these links seem to work in the top right, which is great as well. And yeah, it's looking really cool. Now, in the meantime, let's have a look at Bolt and Lovable, see where they're up to. So I'm going to check these out. So what we can do is pull these up side by side. So this is the page from OnLook. And this is the page from Bolt.new. Now, to be honest, I would say the design is actually better and there's more content on the page from Bolt.new. I would say genuinely it probably wins on that results. It has hallucinated a lot. Like, for example, it's made up all this information about testimonials, people, etc. I don't really like that because that could get you in trouble. Let's have a look at the example from Lovable. So if we compare these side by side, I'm going to say that OnLook actually created a nicer page, nicer website. The page with Lovable, it just doesn't look quite as nice. It feels like a little bit old school. I don't really like that sort of pink and black style. Also, it's hallucinated a bunch of stuff as well. I kind of wish these tools would ask you before they start adding the testimonials and everything in. Like, for example, okay, what's your address or what's your contact details? Before it starts like hallucinating all the random stuff. But yeah, I'm going to say the Bolt came in first there, but OnLook is a really, really good alternative. And bear in mind, OnLook is coding locally as well. So you store all the files locally. It's good for privacy, and also it's completely free as well. And it's a really good option. Now, if you actually just wanted to generate more pages and more sections, etc., then you could go inside the chat over here, and we could say, okay, add some testimonials, social proof, address details, more sales copy, Alex Hormozy style, etc. to the landing page, plus some FAQs. And I'm pretty sure it'll be quite easy to vibe code that out. We'll do the same inside Bolt and Lovable, just see how quickly you can get it done. So Lovable is there, and then we'll go inside Bolt here as well. And we'll see which one can perform the fastest, right? So Bolt.new is running here, Lovable is running down here as well, and we've got OnLook working its magic, and we'll see which one comes back to us the fastest. Now, if we refresh the page, let's just check if that About Me page is set up. It doesn't seem to work locally. Maybe we have to deploy it again. So OnLook has already come back to us. We just need to hit apply here, which I've done. And then we'll have the new sections inside there, as you can see. So we've added all this new information. If we go back to Lovable and Bolt, Lovable is still writing. Bolt.new is still writing the content. It looks like it's got a bunch of files to update. So it does seem like OnLook is a lot faster when it comes to coding as well. You can see that's nowhere near done. And Lovable has come in second in terms of speed. Let's just check the new page. Here we go. Not bad at all. Now, if you want to deploy on OnLook as well, what you can do is click on Publish. And you can either link this to a custom domain, or you can publish preview site. So let's click on publish preview site, see what we get back. And we should be able to deploy that to a test domain. There we go. So it's hosted on a test domain now. So you can share that with people. And then also you can link this to a custom domain. You do need to be on the OnLook Pro, obviously, to buy a domain and that sort of thing. Otherwise, you can just change the URL over here. And then you can also, inside the project settings, change the local URL, the path, the commands. And you can also change like the site, like the title, page description, etc. What's also cool is here you get access to all the previous versions. So if you mess one up, you can just restore the old version, and you can create new backups all the time. And then you can see the page settings over here, along with the preferences and advanced information too. So it's really easy to use, pretty powerful tool, completely free, great for like vibe coding and just editing different bits of the project, and also really good for just building out like a full sort of website, where you can manage all the pages on the left hand side and build out something bigger than you typically would inside anywhere else. Now, inside the brand section as well here, you can change like all the branding of your project. And then this is not just limited to websites as far as I know. So for example, we start a new project from scratch. What you can also do is you can paste in a screenshot over here. And then I'm wondering if you can actually build games with it. I've not tested this out, but we'll try this. So I'm going to go inside OnLook here and paste in this prompt to see if we can build out a game sort of website as well. Some people are asking as well, do you like OnLook better than Windsurf? Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Windsurf. Like, recently, it started breaking on me a lot. It started getting quite buggy. It's quite slow, takes up a lot of memory, and also you can rinse through the credits pretty easily, right? Whereas, for example, with OnLook, seems like it's a lot simpler in terms of the UI. It's easier to manage, it's faster, and you can still code out locally, plus you can code for free. So, OnLook has a lot of advantages right here. So now we have the page with the game. We can preview that. And then we can actually play that step by step. So yeah, you can like build out games and stuff or calculators. And the design is super nice. Again, you can change it in the chat here if you want to change anything, or you can select which bit you want to edit, which section. I also think I prefer this to building out websites versus something like Visual Studio Code, right? Visual Studio Code, you can rinse through the credits, it can take ages, and then the actual outputs can be pretty bad, right? Whereas, for example, something like OnLook seems to be a lot better. So overall, I'm going to say it creates faster designs than Bolt and Lovable. I think Bolt still wins in terms of the outputs, like Bolt's page is superior by a long way. I would say the design from OnLook was better than Lovable, so it's coming in second right there, but it's still a good option. I mean, the other way you win in here is like if you're using OnLook versus Bolt or Lovable, you can code locally and it's free, right? And you can select like different elements on the page, right? Whereas, for example, if we go inside Bolt, we can't really like select different sections and then say, hey, I want to edit this, right? Unlike OnLook. We can click the inspector over here and then click stuff like this, but you'll rinse through the credits as well, as you can see. So I said, you've used all your remaining credits now. Boom. All right. Job finished. So if you want to get all the resources from me, plus a cheat sheet on 100 different ways you can use OnLook, how to set it up, etc., all the links, plus daily AI trainings, as you can see inside the AI Success Lab, feel free to get that link in the comments description. This is a community of 9,600 members that you can learn from. We're giving away new free trainings every single day. So for example, this automation on automated link building, prompt collections, how to build websites, an NA10 prompt builder, etc. If you want to get all these free trainings, feel free to get them inside the AI Success Lab. If you want to connect with me personally, get 3 coaching calls per week, plus all my best automations that are basically copy and paste, then you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. I've actually just released a brand new automation for Veo 3, and inside here, you'll see all of my best automations for NA10. Agents, for workflows, for web automation and scraping. We actually just created a new AI automation that actually automates Veo 3 videos, which is pretty insane as well. And then also each week what we do is we create a thread like this. We ask you what you want us to build, and then we just build it for you and give you the automations for free. As an example of this, you can see we posted here what automations you want to see. 36 people commented inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and what we did is we step by step answered every single request inside here, created a video personalized for everyone inside the boardroom, and then also updated all the links inside the AI Profit Boardroom as well, so you can just grab these automations and steal them from me. All right, link in the comments description to that. You can also post in the community if you need any help, etc. You can get that directly here. So for example, we post weekly updates. Marco was asking some stuff, we got back to him straight away. like, yeah, if you need help, if you need support, if you want to learn how to actually use this stuff and monetize it and make money, this is the best place to go. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. And if you're like, Julian, I just want you to automate everything for us, feel free to get an AI strategy session, link in the comments description. And basically on that, we can, for example, look at your website, look at your business, figure out where you want to save time, what you can automate, and then from there, we can just automate it and implement it for you. All right, if you want to hire us to do that for you. So feel free to book in a free AI strategy session, link in the comments description. Let's see what we got. Carla says, have you tried any of these tools for Shopify sites? I'm not an e-commerce business owner, but a lot of our clients are using this sort of stuff. I know that a lot of people are using Bolt for building out e-commerce sites, and it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Yusuf says, hi, I just joined. What are you guys showing? So we just looked at the Bayer 3 automation and also the automation for building out websites with OnLook. And Natural says, have you ever asked it to generate a sitemap for indexing? You can easily do that, you know, but you can also do that inside Google Maps. Inside Search Console as well, directly. And then DM says, hi Julian, what happened to all the SEO money-making online videos? I miss that and Chipper Bird's time. Yeah, I guess like the demand for that stuff, like that type of content just wasn't there anymore, right? And so I noticed I was getting like 10x more views just by creating content around AI instead, but still talking about SEO, right? So for example, today I talked about how I automated a website for my SEO agency. And so that method seems to work a lot better. Whereas, for example, if I just talk about SEO in my videos in general, no one cares. It's like, okay, right, well, I'll start making videos about that. I mean, as an example of that, let me show you how crazy this is. So if we actually go into the live streams here, you can see here, we got like 4,600 views on this, 2,500 views on this, 5,100 views on this video about AI. And then when we talk about SEO, only like 570 views, right? Like most of our audience just doesn't care about it. So it's one of those, like I wish I could talk a bit more about SEO, but I just try and do it in a subtle way and look at use cases for my own SEO agency inside these videos instead. And that seems to help everyone more. Runner H, this free AI super agent automates anything. Today we're going to be looking at Runner H and exactly how to use this AI super agent to basically automate anything that you want. You can see, for example, here I actually automated my calendar and creating events inside there. And also there's some crazy stuff that you can do with this, all right? It costs $220 million to build it, and you can actually use it 10 times per day for free, as you can see right here. This is a great tweet thread from Rohan. Additionally, you can see some examples of what it can do for you here. So for example, Mira from AI Tools and News was talking about how it can read your emails, it can schedule meeting events, it can summarize weekly Slack events, pretty much links to any sort of tool that you want. And it's almost like a sort of text-based Zapier where you just like, right, I want this automation, and then it will go off and do it, right? So as an example, let's check this out and give it a whirl. What I'm going to do is check out some of the events right here. So if we click on check my calendar and check the calendar of my emails, and then find the next 30-minute slot that works for both me and let's say, for example, someone else this week, right? So let's plug that in. And we've called this Vision Sync Q3 as the event that we want to build. It's now running and thinking. Again, this is free. You can use it for 10 times per day for free. Honestly, I don't think most people are going to use it more than that. So I think it's good enough to just get it for free and start using this AI super agent. And it's really easy to set up because you can just sign in to hcompany.ai, right? So now it's creating the event, and it says the Vision Sync Q3 event has been successfully created for you at meandjuliangoldie.com. Here's the details. Let's have a look at the event. So we'll click on this link right here, see what we got. So this is a link to the Google Calendar, and we have the information of the calendar right there, right? Super simple and easy. If you go back here, let's see what else we can connect. So you can connect, for example, like Google Calendar, Google Docs, Google Drive, Notion, Gmail, Zapier, Slack, Google Sheets, etc. So what's really cool about this is you can actually use all of the tools configured inside Zapier. So let's try this. We're going to click on connect over here. So what we need to do to connect this to Zapier is just create a new MCP server. By the way, if you want to know how to set up MCPs for Zapier, link inside the AI Success Lab on all my best workflows for doing that. It's pretty simple and easy. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Zapier MCP, new MCP server, select a client. We'll go with other, create MCP server. Then from here, we're going to click on connect on the top. Then we're going to copy this URL over here. We're going to go back over to run a H. Then we're going to select this, connect, boom shakalaka. We just got Zapier connected like so, and we can use the tools connected inside here, right? So you can configure which tools you actually allow. So if we click on add tool over here, and then we're going to select, for example, Gmail, find email, we'll select which account we want. So for example, me at juliangoldie.com, we'll hit save on that, and this is going to link the MCP server and the tool find email inside run a H. Okay, we've got this connected over here. So let's just have a go and see if this actually works. Bear in mind, this is in beta. We'll go over to run, and then we'll say, okay, use Zapier tool and check for emails about paid sponsorships. Let's see if that works. All right, so that's connected over here. You can also add files as well. So you can add files to your library, and then it can reference those files whilst completing tasks, which is pretty cool as well. And you can select between how involved you want to be, right? Which is pretty crazy, because you could say, okay, fully automated, moderately automated, or highly involved, right? Which means basically everything's going to be manual. So if we switch over to fully automated over here, and then we'll say, okay, let's have a look what we got. Discover, log new productivity tools. So we need to connect Google Sheets, which I'll do right now. Then we're just going to allow the permissions. And it's actually got a search feature, so it can search the web, which you can see it's doing right now, to find the best. Then it can actually scrape web pages, so it can scrape data from the internet. Could actually be really good for lead generation as well. So for example, like find me, I don't know, 10 SEO agencies I can white label backlinks to, or find me 5 e-commerce companies that will be interested in e-com AI automation, something like that. Right? So now it's processing the data, it's grabbing all the details, and you can pause it and also flick back between different tasks as well. And then I think if you press Command and up, you can toggle the chat. So it's creating a spreadsheet, which is pretty crazy. So you can access my Google Drive and create spreadsheets. Now it's updating the cells inside that spreadsheet. And that task is complete. So it said create a Google Sheet named AI Market Watch Q2 and add collected information. And if we open up my Google Drive, let's pull this up. We've got the spreadsheet right there. And then if we go to AI Tools, we've got the spreadsheet created. Right? And we did all of this for free. Scrape the internet, search for the latest AI tools, came up with headlines, pricing models, and URLs of where it got the data from, which is really cool. It worked perfectly first time around. I was not expecting that to work so smoothly, I'll be honest with you. And then you can also flick between the chats here as well. Now what it's also done is created this PDF, it seems. So we can actually download that, or we can open it in our library. But it's summarized all the latest information as well. So if we click on download, we can download that locally, or if we click on open in library, we've actually got a library of documents that we've created with the AI. So it creates kind of like your own Google Drive inside Runner H with the PDF details, right? So just to recap here, it scraped the internet, searched in real time, found the latest tools, created a Google Drive, then downloaded that summary that it's created and saved it as a PDF on our drive as well. Right? So it can connect to your emails, your calendar, it scheduled an event for me earlier, it can search a web, scrape everything. Pretty crazy stuff. And again, we've done this all for free. There's also this pay section here, which looks super interesting. I wonder if it's going to be able to pay automatically for you, like bills and stuff like that. That's pretty exciting. And then you can see here, you can connect Notion, Google Drive, Google Docs, Gmail, Slack, etc. Let's try this out. So if we go to Google Docs, we're going to connect this as well. And let's try this out. So I'm going to say, okay, create an SEO article about SEO training in Japan. Format everything in a Google Doc. Make it look beautiful, easy to read. Alice Hormozy style copy with great formatting. And then I'm going to say, recommend the SEO Elite Circle throughout. And we'll include a link to the SEO Elite Circle directly here, which is my SEO training program. So we've still got 6 runs. We've done a lot already. Let's hit run on that and see whether that can handle it. So it's creating the document over here. Betty says, I appreciate these lives. I love to rewatch as I try the new toys. Thanks, man. Happy to help. If you like live calls as well, by the way, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description. That comes with free live coaching calls per week. So you can actually jump on calls with us, ask any questions in real time, get help, and it's all personalized to you. All right. So let's have a look now. It says, I've created and formatted an SEO article for Julian Goldie. Let's see what we got here. So if I pull up my Google Drive, you can see SEO training in Japan. That is the article that it created. And it's written the whole article. I mean, obviously you can improve the content and the writing and everything else, but it's all formatted. It's done it exactly as we wanted. It's created it in a Google Doc exactly how we wanted. And we did it all for free, which is crazy. All right, so now let's say, okay, email via Gmail, the Google Drive link. I don't know if it's going to work on that, but let's just try it out. I kind of want to just test it to its limits and see what it actually can't do, because so far it's been really good. So I think we need to connect our Gmail account. Let's go inside the Connections tab. The UI is super easy to understand as well, which is great. I can see why it costs so much money to build. So we've got Gmail over here. So I've said email Julian Goldie at me@juliangoldie.com about Runner H and how good it is. Let's see if it can actually connect that. I'm just going to say, just make up the details. I guess that's where the auto approve drop down helps a lot, because you can just save a lot of time on the back and forth there. I have already connected my email. I'm going to say use my Gmail connection. Which I have connected over here. There we go. All right. You see, it does seem to struggle to connect tools sometimes, right? It says, it seems like there isn't a direct tool available to send emails, but we know there is because it's connected over here. So I'm probably using it wrong, but let's see what we can do. So if we go back to Discover, hit Gmail on that, send Spotify song. I'm going to say, analyze the last email received from vic@juliangoldie.com on Gmail based on the mood or tone of the message, find a matching song, blah, blah, blah. We'll hit run on that. Shout out to Vic, legend in the AI Profit Boardroom. There we go. So it's connected now. Why does it think I'm not activated? I have connected over here. So it does seem to struggle on the Gmail connection. That's the only thing that I can find that's wrong with this. So we have connected it there. It even says connected. But then it says I don't have access to your Gmail. That doesn't make sense. All right. The other cool thing you can do here is you can share your conversations. So you can make them public as well. and you can delete or rename your conversations too. But yeah, really cool tool. There's a lot you can do with that. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get all my video notes from today, feel free to get that inside the AI Success Lab, completely free. Comes with a cheat sheet plus 100 use cases on how to use Runner H. We're giving away free trainings every single day. Plus you can see all these course links over here that you can get access to if you like to learn about super agents. Additionally, inside the community with 9,600 members, you can see that we've got all these different trainings that we give away every single day. So if you're not in there, you're missing out, mate. I'll tell you that for free. You can see all this crazy stuff that we're giving away. And, you know, most people charge you money for that, to be honest with you. Additionally, if you want to connect with me, if you want to get 3 coaching calls per week, etc., feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Comes with all my best automations, like you see right here. We actually just automated, for example, Make.com and Pinterest. We created some AI sales agents. We've even, for example, automated using Google Veo 3 and automated videos like you can see in this automation right here. So if you want our best and latest NA10 agents, feel free to get that. Link in the comments description. On top of that, what we also do is we have 3 coaching calls per week inside the calendar, and inside the community here, you can post any questions you have, and we have 616 dedicated entrepreneurs who are all focused on growing their business and scaling with AI. Not only that, my friends, because what we also do each week is we ask you what automations you want to see, right? So you actually get free automations built for you based on what you want to see, right? And I don't know any other community doing that. So anything you want us to build, we can pretty much build it as long as it's reasonable. And you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So each week we create a personalized video for you and we build the automations that you want to see, like you can get right here. So for example, 36 comments on this thread, and we just went off and built everything that people wanted to see us build, along with video tutorials right here. So a lot of value inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you just want to learn and get this stuff done for you, to be honest. And additionally, if you're just like, okay, Julian, I want to hire you in your agency to do AI automation for us, feel free to book in an AI strategy session. Link in the comments description. Completely free. You can jump on the AI strategy session, and inside there, we can look at your business, figure out what you need to automate, and then from there, we can just go off and build it for you. All right. So feel free to book that in. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye. Test.